Let me tell you what Yudachi's packing here, alright? We got 8 torpedo launchers, 73-second reload time, 7-kilometer range, 84 knots in the water with over 21,000 damage per hit. We're talking some fucking muscle. That's right, Yudachi's back. There's the alternative package. I use the short range, 7 kilometers. You get the torpedoes up to 84 knots, at least on my build. You can add 3 kilometers to that, shave off, I don't know what it just said there, 7, 8, 9 knots. Which are still quite effective torpedoes, don't get me wrong. But Yudachi played with a little bit of courage, makes it a dangerous thing. 84 knots is hard to dodge, and as Booterson said, they hit like a truck. So, we used to joke on the stream, whichever team had the most Yudachis was probably going to lose, and when this thing came out as a campaign reward ship, Yudachi was ubiquitous. All right, you had 4 or 5 per team usually each game, and it was kind of a nightmare. But Yudachi played well, as I hopefully do my best to demonstrate in this game, is quite effective. All right, capturing bases, countering destroyers, defending territory, that sort of thing, spotting. These things the Yudachi can do quite well. But what it does really well is torp battleships that are sitting still. So a lot of Yudachi players are going to be tempted to go around the edge of the map and then just zing torpedoes at these backline betties the whole game. Not really that effective of play, right? I mean, those guys are not contributing that much to the winning strategy of the red team. And if that's what you're occupied on, you're not capturing those bases, the other team's destroyer might be, and that's going to put you at a distinct disadvantage. So you still want to stick with the destroyer role. It does it very well. The guns you'll see are capable. Certainly, they're not high damage per minute, but damage per shot, yes, it's there. So what you typically would like to do is take 1 or 2 shots as you're disengaging behind an island, drop spot, and, get a couple quick hits there and kind of reset the situation. Okay, we've reduced that guy's health by a quarter. Now maybe we got the disadvantage, right? It's a little bit more even. So Yudachi, you got to pick your spots. You're not going to go toe-to-toe with some of these destroyers in a slugfest, certainly. But, the damage certainly capable there. As you can see there, opening up in this game, we got an Akatsuki disengaging. He was trying to capture the base. He goes back behind that island, those torps that we sent the reload boost on. Not likely to hit him, but worth trying, because if we can get him early, that's going to be a huge advantage. Disadvantage, though, Zeiton moving in. Zeiton dangerous. If we get spotted, those secondaries will chew us up. And you got to keep in mind, potent sonars on these German battleships. So I don't know the range on the Zeiton sonar, but I know I want to stay the heck away from it. So we're not going to just sit here in the smoke shooting at it. Oh no, we're going to try and get out of here, keep the distance, and see what we can do. Now, even though we don't have our torpedo reload booster anymore, we still got pretty quick reloading torps on this build. Again, just a minute and 10 seconds, minute and 13 seconds to be precise. And that's going to allow you to get these hard-hitting torps in the water on a consistent basis. Took a shot there on the Zeiton, hoping to disengage the battleship on the right. Briefly spotted us going around the smoke, but that's okay. As we noted earlier, taking these kind of pot shots, trying to start a fire, trying to get a little bit of damage, then disengaging, disappearing. That's kind of what we want to be focusing on doing here. We're not going to be sailing around in the open trying to outgun things, because that's not going to work. All right, so Zeiton pushing in here. I'm being a little aggressive. All right, we don't know exactly how far forward he is here, and you can see we are picked up by the sonar. That's a bit of an issue. He'll see the torps coming, of course. I'm going to launch one just to force him to commit to turn one way or the other. Then it looks like he's going to turn screen right. So we launch one there, hoping that's going to work. But of course, those are spotted pretty much on launch. With that sonar active, we got to get the heck out of here. We got the engine booster going here, and we need to increase the range. You can see those secondaries doing a little bit of work on this ship here. And it's not the fastest thing, even with the speed boost. And I got the Fishman build that gives us 4 engine boosts, but they're short duration per match. So we're trying to get away from this thing here. Not one of the faster destroyers in the game, but that's okay. The balancing factor with this build is it's extremely dangerous, but you have to get quite close. There's not a lot of margin for error on this build. If you really want to go nuts, there's a guy called Sano, I believe, which adds even more speed and shortens the range even more. I got one of those videos on my channel. Maybe you could track it down, try searching for Sano or something,  Yudachi. Basically, the launch range is just It's like 5.1 kilometers or something. You can barely stealth launch, but they're super screamers. I've only played maybe 5 games with it ever. It's fun, but hard to stay alive doing that. So anyway, getting back into the game here. You can see what we're doing. We're contesting the base, or we're not quite contesting it yet, but we're trying to continue to attack this base. Now, we don't have any support, right? We got 2 battleships and a destroyer over here. Our team, this flank's dead. Everybody else all the way on the west. So we're going to be a little bit careful here, but the hard-hitting torps incoming, and boom, he gone there for a devastating strike on the Zeiton. 1 down, 2 to go. Now, remember, we got an Akatsuki here. I'm not worried about fighting an Akatsuki. I can handle that. King George, however, probably has HE. That's a close-range shot. We want to put that island in between us and the King George when we pick this fight, and here he comes. So we've kind of blocked the King George, at least for the moment, and we're just going to play with the throttle knob. Jerk it up and down a little bit. You know, don't need to be too rough with it, of course, but we'll just kind of maneuver it up and down here, and we'll just take some shots. He's kind of hitting the island here a little bit. He's trying to jam on the brakes. We get the back gun on him there, and you can see we're trading pretty efficiently here. He's taking a little bit of health off, certainly, but if we can get him down, well, we can proceed to continue to attack C here. At least that's the plan. Backing up here, trying to get him off, and there goes the Akatsuki. Now that King George has been moving in here, so I should really be going hard away from him. Until we spot him, we don't know where he is. I'm relying on twist and track here, and it moves there. I'm thinking, man, he's pushing aggressively. Let's get a defensive launch on the smoke. We'll continue to put some space in between us, probably put that island in between us, and come around the other side. We need to get eyes on him. We don't want to get spotted close range with those guns. They could easily one-shot us. That's not a problem for him at this range, especially if he's got the HE loaded, which he likely does. So we got to be playing cautious here, and this is, you know, kind of the nature of the beast here. We're still being hyper-aggressive. We've been close range to these guys pretty much the whole game. We've been attacking point-blank range, but we're doing it on our terms, right? We got to be making sure we're not going to be caught in the open for long periods. Oh, God, 5.0. That's our range here. Slamming the brakes, turn away. We need to be going at least even with him and need to be increasing the distance even. So contesting this base at this point in time, not an option. You can see on the map he's turning hard here, and we're extremely worried about getting spotted. So just sail directly away from him here, give up the base. We can get some resets. Oh, we got 15 seconds till we got another nuclear launch available as well. No need to panic. All right, things are going well on A. They captured that. That's the only base generating points. It'd be nice if the battleship fleet moved on to the east side of those islands on A, but that's not really affecting us over here so much. That side looks pretty good. King George does spot us. If he's wise, he'll be slamming on the brakes and turning hard towards us. Secondaries go off. We do manage to get out of the spotting range again here, but the secondaries should have alerted him, and certainly he's aware of our rough position anyways. Oh, look at this. 1, 2, yep, 3. No, what do we get? 2 or 3? Looks like 2. Hard hitting, yes, certainly. Got some resets. 4 resets on 2 hits. Don't ask me how that works. Yeah, we get maybe the gun. I guess the gun hit probably added a couple hits. But again, he's on the ropes. He's got super heals, so he's not going anywhere quite yet. But a little aggressive. I should be coming a little bit more towards the camera right now, increasing the distance. We want to keep him outside that blue ring. Don't quite do it here. Forced to give up the smoke. All right, and slam on the brakes. Game continues. Whew, just by a little bit. But we do get him on fire there. Get another reset, and for good measure, we'll hit him with one more reset there, and then turn away. Get that smoke. Make sure that smoke's trailing us, in between us, cutting that line of sight. Plane, come on, where are you coming from? This is a bit of an issue. We're already out of the smoke, so every time that plane does a lap over here, we're going to get spotted. That's going to put us in the danger zone. So I'm going to try and continue to increase distance here. And you can see it's a lot about the spotting game when we're playing the ship. Again, close quarters, destroyer fight. I don't necessarily advocate making suicide rushes with it a lot. You can make that play once in a while. But due to the lower health pool, you really only can get away with it at once, or maybe once per match if you got a full set of health. But playing conservatively like this, keeping them at arm's length, at least that's the goal, you know, trying to keep them just outside the spotting range, launching from point-blank range. Hard to dodge those things. 84 knots. And conceptually, I always say you can view the speed of the torpedoes as the accuracy, right? You mentally come up with an aim point, you launch them on that aim point, whether it's on the indicator or not, and then those torps, the faster they are, the faster they get there. So less time for anything to change from what you're predicting. So about as accurate of torps as you can get, and a quality ship that you'll probably enjoy if you're a good destroyer player. I'll enjoy having you on my team with it. That's a look at the Yudachi for you. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming all the time for you guys. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.